I'm David Lemieux, and I'm the archivist for the Grateful Dead, which means that I archive the band's music and also deal with all of the merchandise and produce all of their records and CDs and everything else related to the Grateful Dead's legacy. Grateful Dead have an archive where they recorded most of their shows from 66 to 95, and of those 2,300 shows, the Dead's archive has 1,800 of them. But then there were some tapes that were missing from the Dead's archive from about 1976, 77, and 78. And those tapes have always existed, they've just not been in the Dead's archive, and we've now been working with the people who own these tapes and collaborated with them to have them returned to the Grateful Dead's archive, which as an archivist and a Deadhead is about as exciting as it gets, because it means as an archivist, these tapes are now moving back into the archive, they're going home. And that's nice to look on the shelves now and seeing these previously big gaps in the physical space in the archive now filling back up, and as a Deadhead knowing how exciting this music is.
Higher on the mountain.
So this project in particular is 5 concerts that have not been in the Dead's archive since 1978. And so they're back now. And so we've now been able to produce this incredible 12 CD box set from these 5 nights. So what we started with in producing this box set were the master tapes that Betty Cantor-Jackson recorded in 1978. They have held up remarkably well. As an archivist, there's nothing more exciting than putting on a tape that pretty much has only been played maybe 2 or 3 times in the last 38 years and finding out that it sounds as good as the day it was recorded. So we've got these wonderful sounding tapes, cleaned up, transferred beautifully, mastered by Jeffrey Norman as always in HD CD, and now we get to present them in the best possible quality. When we select a show for release, the criteria is pretty big, but it's also narrow. It always starts with great music. Always. And then it's a lot of listening. It really is. It's months of listening to make sure that on your 40th listen, 20th listen to this show 4 or 5 months later, are you just as excited? And these are some of the most exciting shows I've heard, specifically from 1978, and the band is on fire, they're inspired, they're engaged, and they're really having a good time. And again, each of the shows tells its own story. One of the things that we are able to do with our releases is present them in the most beautiful format possible. The Grateful Dead's last 2 box sets have been nominated for Grammys in package design and package layout and overall box set presentation. We have the photos, we have the archival materials, so we decide on that, and then Doran and Steve, our art directors, they then work with the artist Paul Pope, and we've got this incredible artwork in this. For me, it's one of the most bright and exuberant artworks I've seen with Grateful Dead in, well, I won't say that, we've done a lot of good art, but this is a really exciting package. This is a project that I know I'm going to be listening to for a long time. I'll have it on my shelf and I'll pull it down a lot. Every show, every time I've listened to it now, which is every show at least a couple dozen times in the last 6 months, I'm just as excited as I keep listening to it. And what we can do is present it in something that you can put on your shelf and leave it there for years and be proud of it and pull it down and show your friends. And it's something that is, it's an archival piece, it's a historical piece that we hope that in 50 years people will look at and still say, wow, this is a beautiful package. That's kind of the essence of what we do, is presenting great music, sounding great in beautiful packaging. The Grateful Dead's July 1978 The Complete Recordings box set, available now exclusively at dead.net.